All right, local swell trackers, November 10th, Sunday. GQ dropping in for you with the video presentation, and here we go. A pretty fat jet stream. This big trough, you see this dip and the split in the jet. That's allowing for a front, the killing of our trade winds for a while. In fact, another front is coming later this week. I'll get into that, but there's some juice in the jet, and that's allowing for more and more of these bigger and bigger ground swells. The forecast is looking good, much better than October, that's for sure. We'll roll this animation out from Storm Surf. The jet tries to lower a little bit. There's some stronger winds. We get some breaks off and on, but we do like those meridional flows, those dips that allow circulation at the surface. Of course, that's a low pressure spinning counterclockwise in the North Pack, and that spins off the winds, the fetch, which brings our waves. Here we are at about 160 west, 20 degrees north. Again, the jet starting to get some winds more towards 200, or trying at least, and rolling these things out. This is about 6 days out. Again, lots of splits, but we like those to a degree, and we'll continue on the animation all the way out 7 days. We're looking rather quiet here by next Monday, the 18th. Now we're going to go back last Sunday, the 3rd, and take a look at that fetch that was just to our north that brought the sizable 8 to 12 foot waves for us last week. Rolling the animations out, that lasted a long time because the fetch hung out for quite a while. And Friday, this fetch right here that you're seeing to our north-northwest, that's what we're getting for yesterday and today, was this fetch right here on our side of the date line. Okay, now last Wednesday, November 6th, we had a little bit of a fetch right here on our side of the date line that allowed some swell, shorter period swell, to pump us up on a solid 3 to 4 on Saturday, and even 5 feet today. There was a secondary fetch that moved in a little bit closer here as of yesterday. So we are going to see this north-northwest swell to hold out on Monday, hopefully 4 to 5 feet. Looked really good tonight. We are seeing a mix of sea breezes midday all week long. It's easy to tell what the main producer over the last 7 days has been. Again, we're doing some hindcasting. This is the guy from last Sunday, the 3rd, that brought us up, again, some serious sized waves, near warning levels. Solid 8 to 12. There were a few pluses from the system that was real close by. The closer these storms are, the more consistent the surf seems to be. More sets, a little bit less control, a little less shape because the swells don't sort themselves out. But there's less swell decay time for these open ocean swells, and thus the size. Continue on the animation, you can see that early next week it faded out, but we did see some swell from this low pressure here and this low pressure here. Both of those combined for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday swell. We will see some west swell from this system, very minor. This tropical system, but very minor, this upcoming week. Okay, here's a look at Monday's models. We have a system over here heading towards the date line. That thing really intensifies, spins out to our north up in the eastern Aleutians, becomes occluded, allowing it to expand, intensify, broaden, and stick around a little bit longer. Now, a lot of the energy, as you can see here, passes us off to the northeast, but we'll get enough of sideband swell. It emanates out about 30 degrees typically, so depending on how broad the fetch is, this one's going to be pretty good. This is Tuesday the 12th. The effects of this will start to be felt on Thursday with some 18-second forerunners, thanks to the 55 knot, 50 to 55 knot winds pockets within it. A broad portion of the fetch right here is about 45 knots, which is a severe gale. So this is nothing to be trifled with. The problem is the position of the storm kind of out, just heading out of our swell window here, as you can see. And then possibly 8 to 10, maybe 12 into Friday, the 15th, which is great timing for the Vans Triple Crown's first jewel, the Hawaiian Pro at Haleiwa. They are going to score off of this beast right here. If it was a little further to our northwest, we would have seen some serious sized waves. So see that thing hovers there all the way through Wednesday the 13th. Then we get another system moving with a captured fetch towards us. And those are some decent winds in here. I think the models are, well, we're undercalling that, but we're going to go ahead and say that Sunday this thing will ramp up 8 to 9 foot of swell at 14 seconds. That'll be enough for 8 to 12 again on Sunday. Now, because this system weakened rather rapidly, it'll drop fast on Monday the 18th. Check Surf News Network for the 5 and 10 day forecast for our premium members, just $5 a month, multiple camera views, and we support Access Surf and Surfrider Oahu with your membership. So as far as swell production goes, this is Saturday the 16th. Not looking too great here. This little system might bring us in some west swell, and then things start to kick in off Kamchatka. Let's take a look at the swells produced by the surface winds we were just looking at. So right now, things look relatively quiet, and they are. Here comes that system at 170 west, not too far away from us, about 900 miles away. And that thing really, again, look at the size of those seas. 48 feet solid. There's the fetch on its southwest flank. Again, that low pressure occluded. You can see how it expanded and stalled right there. This is the one for Thursday, Friday, peaking at 8 to 12, Thursday night into Friday at this point in the model runs. Again, these could be a little tricky. Got to put a little cautionary on this one because of the position. It could shift further out of our swell window. Here comes that next system with a captured fetch, meaning the fetch on its southwest flank follows the track of the storm center. You can see by the track, even though it doesn't last long, there was a portion there where it was a captured fetch or following fetch. The fetch follows the storm center's track. That allows for fuller potential of the seas to grow within it based on the winds. And look how close it gets. That thing's only about 900 miles away. This is the one to build up for Sunday, Monday. It's going to be a up and down. I'd say Sunday, 10 feet minimum, maybe 12. That's some swell getting pretty close to us. This beast out here with that tropical system is going to recurve a little bit before dissipating. We'll start in the animations. That thing looked like it was going to intensify, but weakens here Monday the 18th. But not before generating some pure west swell for us. We'll wait and see. Those are tricky to forecast. Okay, looking at the swell trains, the swell periods. This is Sunday the 10th. Here comes a little bit of that reinforcement of short period 11-second swell from the north-northwest, from the fetches I was showing you earlier in the local swell tracker, hitting us, supporting us for Monday, bringing us up to 4 to 5, hopefully 6 feet. The models are forecasting 6-foot swell, 11 seconds, and that should be enough for near double overhead at top focusing reefs. There's some west swell from that other tropical system. The models are not picking that up much. Here comes that swell that I was telling you is sending a lot of its energy off to our northeast. We're getting, again, a portion of the sideband swell. Models are calling that big for right now. And this is Thursday the 14th as it climbs to heights of at least 10 feet Thursday afternoon and into Friday. Let's hope for some 12-footers for the crew down there at Haleiwa. The Haleiwa on a north-northwest swell like this should get at least 8 feet pumping. And we are going to have light winds. We could have another front moving down and bringing us south-southwesterly winds, though they will be gentle. The forecast is tricky right now for as far as the winds go. But I think we're looking better for Friday. Continuing on the animations, the next swell comes right here. That was that swell, that storm with the captured fetch. This is Sunday into Monday. Here comes some of that pure west swell I was talking about from that tropical system. We've had a couple of those. So the magnitude of the swell will be small, but the period should be 15 or 16 seconds. Okay, getting down under, you can see a lot of blue. Austral spring, things tend to get quiet, but we've been pretty lucky here. It was about a week ago that we had a beautiful jet and a system further north than usual send us the waves that we saw over the weekend, and it got easily 4 or 5 feet at the top moments, top spots. A lot of spots were 3 and 4 feet, but there were a few reports of 5-foot sets at focal spots. So the jet stream not looking too good anymore. This one right here allows us to get some south-southeast swell around the 16th, and it's going to last a long time. But there's a lot of blue in the typical swell generation area to the southeast of New Zealand. Here comes some flow from the jet stream in the Tasman Sea. We do see a little bit of a Tasman low pressure tracking zonal within it. It's going to be barely doable. 2-foot southwest swells around the 20th, 21st, if you want to mark your calendars or check Surf News Network's 5 and 10-day forecast. Finishing the rollout, not looking too good for the long range, but things can change. It's already so late in the season. I doubt we're going to see anything as good as we just saw. Okay, this is going back Sunday the 3rd, and this is the swell generation zone right there, and had some decent sized seas in this one, about 30-foot pockets. It's compact. It's south-southwest of French Polynesia, closer than normal, allowing for less decay, swell decay over its journey up to us. And we saw some 3 to 4 foot swell at 14 seconds. That translated into almost double overhead at top spots, but most spots were just a few feet overhead. And this is the guy right there. This is the storm down here on Friday the 8th. That's going to pump us up some south-southeast swell of 15 seconds over the weekend, this coming weekend, the 16th and 17th, and it'll last about 3 or 4 days. You see that fades out, and then we go quiet. Here were the surface winds in that storm, some 45, 50 knot pockets. That's a beauty, and Tahiti got some size out of that one. To the current surface winds, here's our south-southeast swell generating for next weekend as I was speaking. Rolling these things out through the week. You'd see not much real fetch except for this Tasman Sea fetch, but it's pointing too zonal or too west to east. We might see some 2-footers out of that, and that would be Wednesday the 20th, 21st, 22nd, hopefully 2 feet. The water vapor loops are showing that dissipating front just up here edging Kauai. Overall, though, the weather's been fairly dry. This is the intertropical convergence zone down here where the trade winds from either hemisphere meet, and all this stuff you see coming down on us from those low pressures I'm going to show you here. Okay, the hand-drawn surface charts, these low pressures, the tail is the front that's dissipating. Those low pressures push the high further northeast. It's way over there. Here's its associated ridge close to the islands, thus the super light winds. There's going to be more front coming towards the end of the week. High pressure over here trying to move eastward. But regular trades, hang in there. They are returning this Sunday, Monday. And in fact, next week, the week after this work week coming up, the week of the 18th, we could have strong trade winds for like 5 days straight. We'll see if the models hold out on that trend. Okay, here we are over here. Pretty decent weather. We are in a sea breeze pattern. That means when the land heats up, the trades aren't strong enough to stop those sea breezes from moving in and mushing out the surf. We'll have convection going on with the clouds in the interior sections in the afternoon. It clears up overnight. Beautiful mornings. That pattern is going to continue until the next front nears us Thursday, Friday, towards the end of this upcoming work week. Drilling in a little bit further, highs are going to be about mid-80s, lows about 70 degrees. And here are the reflective loops. Offshore showers, especially around Kauai. Few sprinkles over here on the leeward coast. But that's where I am. I'm not seeing any rain. Anyway, that is the update. We'll catch you back here next weekend with your local swell tracker. See what transpires. Aloha.